Question for both of you, if I may. Phil, first off, congratulations. Had your bachelor party stood when the final handshake was done, or where exactly were you when, the virtual handshake was done? And then, David, you mentioned how important it is to close the gap on the Avalanche. I think you opened with the feeling that you feel like you've done that this offseason. How close do you think you are in that regard?
We'll go to Phil first.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a busy week. Let's put it that way. But it's been great. I mean, I was a little extra busy over the weekend for obvious reasons, but we had a great time, and obviously getting this deal turned out to be a pretty good cherry on top.
Yeah, so the true story is Phil gave me a call, and the bachelor party said he needed a little bit more money, and I understood what he was going through, and that's how we got the deal done. Now, just kidding, don't write that to everybody, but I think, again, you asked the question before that about our team. I think we had that little significant transition, and I think it was a lot of hard and tough decisions, not only for me, but equally for our players and our veteran players like Phil and Roman and Eki, all those guys when we traded, some established guys on our team. And I think a lot of people felt, and it's true that we took a significant step backwards to hopefully, in this case now, take a couple of steps back up to get back into contention. And as Phil said, we saw that last year with a lot of our younger players. I mean, the transition from Pekka to Saros, and that was fantastic. I mean, some of the younger D, like, Carrier and Fabs are getting a little bit better. Tanner Jeannot, Trennan getting 17 goals last year, and we've got to continue to do that because we did get beat by Colorado, the team that won the Stanley Cup. And so that's in our conference, and that's our measuring stick. And, no false illusions. We have still a ways to go, but I do feel today that a year older for a lot of the younger players, and adding McDonough, I think we're going in the right direction.
We'll go to Stephen Wino at the AP.
Hey, David, you were asked about this earlier about kind of free agency. You took a big name off the board with Phillip, but I wonder what you make of the free agent class and kind of the star power that is available for you guys and other teams that have cap space.
Well, it's always about what your fit is and what opportunity that you can provide for the player. And I think every player is looking at the fit and opportunity, in addition, of course, to the contract that they can get or the years. So there's some players that on the surface you might say, well, geez, that might make sense, but it may not be that fit or opportunity, or that the team may not have the dollars. I mean, we got a few ideas, and when the 13th comes around, we'd certainly like to get in touch with a few agents and talk to a few players and see if we can, make something happen. I'm pretty happy with our team as where we are now. I mean, Juice and goal, and adding McDonough on defense. I mean, re-signing Phillip. I mean, we have some forwards that internally we could promote, but maybe there could be an addition there. So I think you're just going to have to let it play out.
All right, guys, we got a bit more time with David and Phil left. We're going to circle back to some locally, and then we'll end with a couple from our friends over in Sweden. We'll go back to Zach Gilchrist.
Well, Nashville's been your home now for the last 10 so years. So you've obviously established yourself here, and your fiance is plugged into the music scene here. I'm curious what the contract means to you from more of a personal standpoint.
No, I mean, it means probably as much as it does on the ice, honestly. I mean, just the fact that we're staying here for the next 8 years. I mean, like I said, we've been here, we met here. It's kind of our home. I have my home here and her home in Georgia, but this Nashville is kind of our home. It's everything we talk about doing is kind of based out of here, and it's kind of cool, that we'll be able to take the next steps in our relationship. Obviously, we mentioned the marriage coming up here next week, and then whatever steps are coming along the way will be done in our city, which is cool. So we're very excited about that.
Thank you. We'll go to John Glennon.
Hey, David. I know you've touched on it several times here, but the McDonough deal, I wonder if you could maybe just elaborate on that just a bit, what you expect him to bring to this team, and also the other sort of significant transaction from the weekend, trading away Luke Cunnin, and what you expect following that move as well.
Well, the McDonough situation, came up after the Stanley Cup Finals, and it was just a very. I didn't really know anything about it, and I knew they were in cap problems, but he was the last guy I thought that they would decide to move. I've known Ryan a little bit from my work with USA Hockey. I've known Ryan since he played in Wisconsin, Montreal, Rangers, and Tampa Bay. I mean, there's nothing that I don't like about Ryan as a person. There's nothing I don't like about Ryan as a player. I think, again, it's just another top defenseman. And when you talk about Yossi, Eki, and McDonough as your top three guys, and sprinkle that in with some toughness from Morrow, and three, what I call them, younger players like Lazon, Fabs, and Carrier, I really like our defense. And then there's obviously the intangibles. I mean, Phil's been talking and referring a lot to winning something and win a Stanley Cup someday, which we all want to do. Well, Ryan McDonough's been there, done that a couple of times, and they almost did it again this year. So, I certainly think the leadership part is just going to be a great add-on. I mean, I think our players, including Phil, have really taken it up a notch in terms of the leadership and what it takes to win, and the professionalism, all those things that go into preparing a team to be able to execute and to believe that they can win. And Ryan McDonough is not only a good player, but he's a leader and he's a great person. So really, really happy about that. The Luke Cunnin trade was a difficult situation. I mean, we had Luke in a position where I thought we gave him a lot of good opportunities. I love everything about Luke in terms of him as a person, how hard he works for our team, fights for our team, all those situations. But we had him pegged to be a little bit higher in terms of the production, and that didn't come. So it's a little bit dangerous trading a young player. And I fully expect that Luke will have a bounce back year this year. But it was we're trying to open up a little bit more money, possibly for something we could do in free agency or something that we could do internally.
Thank you, David. We're going to take two more locally, then we'll close with two more from Sweden. Jared?
Yeah, two for Phil. One, Phil, how important was the no move for you to get this deal done? And two, your best season this past season was in a contract year. How confident are you that you will be able to repeat the performance you had last season?
Well, first of all, the no move is obviously something that we're I mean, we like that part. We want to be, like I said, we want to be here, but we also like the security of being here. You can. I think it's obviously more of an off the ice standpoint. You can take the next step as a couple, and you can take the next step in the city. You can, feel a little bit more freedom there, and then obviously being able to be on the same spot for almost guaranteed on the contract is something that gives you a lot of security, like I said, and that I think that in the end will make you play better, just feel more comfortable and everything like that. And second question, I think you might have to repeat that. My bad.
Hang on, Jared. Go ahead.
Best season came in a contract year. How confident are you that you can repeat that performance?
Yeah, I'm confident for sure. I think, like I said, I definitely feel like I still have more in me. I think that year was good. I think that was a year that I've been looking for, that I feel like I've been able to do for the last years. But like I said, this year everything kind of came together, and I think it was not necessarily just about the production, but also, like David mentioned, I think I'm more of a 200-foot player. I think I'm more reliable than I've been in the past. I think I'm competing harder. I think I'm more of a leader, and that's stuff that you have to do. And I think that's something that comes with a little bit of time too. I mean, it's easy coming into this league, just excited about every game, but it's also hard to be consistent. I think that's something that I've been working really hard at. And like I said, I'm going to have to continue because it's not going to get easier, obviously. And I'm definitely excited for that challenge.
We'll go to Robbie Stanley.
Yeah, Phil, to that point, just your chemistry with Granlund and Duchesne last year, how do you kind of build on that? And specifically with Duchesne, with the numbers you two put up, how important was that connection in your decision?
I think it was important. I mean, you look at both of us, it was the first season we played the basically full year together. And clearly we found something early on. And I think we both